Hello everybody, I am Aaron the Gaming Godfather, and this is another just random League of Legends video. This time I'm being Amumu, the sad mummy. Amumu holds another special place in my heart as far as champions go, simply because he is so hilarious to play as, but he's also at the same time depressing. It just makes you want to like burst into tears. It's just so sad to be Amumu. Just right when you pick him, I thought you'd never pick me. It just, oh my god, like it just wrenches at your heart and soul. As far as people that are not very familiar with League of Legends or familiar with Amumu in general, Amumu is more tank than anything. He can also be a caster, but as far as tanks go, he hits like a Mack truck. He hits very hard and he does this very well. He's also known for the fact he has technically a range stun, but it's actually a line of sight stun, and it has to be, if you miss, you miss. It's a skill shot. If you hit a minion, you hit a minion. So basically you need a free line of sight in order to hit whoever you're trying to go for. Other things he's known for is the ability to passively take less damage while also using that same skill to activate that, and thereby dishing out a little bit of pain. His W is also very well known as Tears. It's a toggled AoE, which does a percentage of the character's maximum health. This is very, very dangerous. Pardon me. A little bit of a dry throat. That percentage of health makes him also be able to jungle, but also makes him very deadly in team fights. So he can take a huge beating. He's a very competent tank. But not only that, you've got to worry for the fact that he's constantly doing a percent of your health all the time while he's standing around you. Not only that, but as a huge AoE stun that can actually do quite a bit of damage. So Amumu is, if you go up against a good Amumu, he can definitely make or break a good game. In this case, I'm laned up with Gangplank, and for some reason, Gangplank, there's several times I've actually had to be more aggressive than I normally play as Amumu, simply because Gangplank was playing the exact same way. Very aggressive, very upfront, and not really thinking ahead of getting behind minions, letting Mundo either waste the shot, trying to hit him, any of that kind of stuff. And he also stays way too close for Malphite. So as you can see, he keeps on getting slowed by Malphite and Mundo. Mundo's also being a little bit humorous in his way of playing. This is the only way to play it, because I started laughing so much simply because he thought he was Mundo, and he's like, I have all the health regen in the world, no problem. I don't have to worry. Well, here's the problem. As you can see, Mundo on low health is still a low health champion, and that's going to bite him in the butt here pretty damn soon. As you can see, they actually have a very unique set of spells. Actually, down the road, you'll see Malphite use Ignite. Ignite on Malphite's new to me. I'm used to seeing him with Exhaust for a bit of a super slow effect, but this time we decided to go, I believe, with Flash and Ignite. I myself went pure tank, so I grabbed Flash and Cleanse, so that way I can be the one controlling the battle, a lot of stuns, and never have to worry about any sort of stuns. And you can see, if you look at the map, we do have a Rise, so his snares can be pain. We do have Blitz down the bottom, and I believe they have a jungler. I'm not sure. I do apologize for not having the opening champion selection up and running. But with this, I knew there wasn't a lot of straight up crowd control. There's more or less the weird ones, such as Blitz's grab, Malphite's ultimate, etc. And even though I still, if I need to make that quick break, like let's say Malphite gave me a good slow and I needed to run away so I could at least survive, I had Cleanse to set me ready to go. And even then, this was completely normal queue. This is not ranked. This is no organized teams, nothing like that. So of course I had no idea what I was going up against and who I was actually going to be picked up against right away. This was actually, I just had a bit of a kick where I wanted to be Amumu, and you'll see why I want to be Amumu right here. For some reason, Mundo decided to try and jump into a fight after Malphite ignited me with more than half health. For some odd reason, they decided Ignite would cause me to die. For whatever reason. As you can see there, thank you Gangplank, he got off a good shot off, slowed Mundo. I had my tears going, flashed over some minions, didn't bother going for a stun, I just used the E and that was it. There goes Mundo. As you can see here, I know I'm not going to get a lot of kills. I did not intend on getting kills. I wasn't even intending on getting that one, but I still wanted to make sure I had it ready to go. As you can see here, what I'm getting right now is I want to make sure I've got as much health and mana regen actually, so I can lane longer, and also I want the money, so I went with the Philo Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you will. I also want a little bit more movement, so I had to go get those boots. So if you ask me, you don't need boots with Amumu right away. I would rather put the Philosopher's Stones or Philosopher's Stone ahead of that, simply because that allows you to stay in the lane longer. And the longer you can stay in the lane, the more money you get and more extension. As you can see here also, simply just by being Amumu and having my E maxed out as much as possible, that in itself is like grabbing another shield or magic resistance, anything like that. It allows me to be much more tankier just by having that. As you can see here, for some reason, Mundo, he's sticking around for a fight, and of course, I just had to walk with him for a little bit and give him one little headbutt, and that was it. Granted, now I'm low on mana, but again, I have a lot of mana regen. So all I do is just sit around for a little bit, and look, I've already got Malphite on the ropes, and I have almost full health. Granted, Gangplank not doing as well, but that's neither here nor there. Why? He's still alive, Mundo's down, and Malphite's very weak. And I have plenty of mana in order to keep Malphite away from that bag. As you can see here, like I said, this is the reason why I wanted to stay in lane for so long. I'm already level 6 and I'm ready to go. What I'm going to do here, I'm actually just kind of messing around. After seeing Mundo die twice, before 8 minutes, he's already died twice, and he's not gotten any kills, not even any assists, and Malphite has no assists or kills. So I have no problem whatsoever. We do have a jungle Jax, or jungling-ish Jax. He was not jungling to begin with. That was because for some reason our Tryndamere at bottom lane was not around, oddly enough. So it was actually it was just Jax kind of holding up the fort until Tryndamere could take up fort down there. But of course I was seeing if Jax came down to help out and gank Malphite just because of how low he was. There it is, short tower dive. I offered it to Jax, said, hey, come on down, game top, take out Malphite. I didn't want to go for it. His loss is my gain, obviously, and of course, Gangplank's gain. This is pretty much how it's going to be the entire early phase here, folks. I will be just sitting around, having a ton of health, all the mana I could ever need, and Gangplank is doing just fine. He's been getting a little bit of feeding, I've been getting a little bit of feeding, and I'm getting to the point where I'm actually getting bored because I know this is the start of a, killer game, for lack of a better words right there. As you can see right there, I actually go for a tower dive and it paid off for another Mundo kill, oddly enough. Of course here, I'm not going to be stupid and stand around and see if somebody couldn't come around and just jump on us, so I, of course, be out. For some reason, Malphite, he got tired of being with Mundo or tired of being up top, so he went down the bottom. I have no idea why. So, of course, my team's got some really weird team communication. We're kind of going back and forth, you know, whatnot. And oddly enough, out of all the miscommunication we kind of have, we still did really well. I, of course, turned my boots into Merc Treads so I can have magic resistance and, of course, the higher tenacity. And I'm remembering to grab a little bit of ward just because I know we have a jungler, and my role, I'm going mainly as tank, though I will have some ability power so I can actually still bring some pain. But my role as tank is to make sure that the other team, or my team, does as well as they can. See that just advantage toss, but Minion tried to do advantage toss to, he actually died. You saw it was actually a little bit off screen, but he just barely touched him, but he died from the tower shot. All I want to do, of course, is get closer to him so I can start farming off minions and kind of save the tower. You can see there, mid's not doing that great. Our Morgana's not doing that great against Rise, which isn't too terrible. Simply because Rise is not going to like it when I come around. And if you're wondering why that ward, I saw Blitz was wandering around our jungle, and they do have a jungling E, and I wasn't too worried about him because he's absent a lot in this game. You'll see him constantly reconnecting all the time. I have no idea why. This is one thing, this problem I always have with a few games. For some reason, Jax and James going up and around rather than straight behind him. Needless to say though, Jax still gets the kill, but here's the big problem, of course. That's the end of part 1. So stay tuned for part 2, and you'll see who comes on top, either Gangplank or Mundo, or maybe neither.